Kia ora, ko Jamus ahau. My name is Jamus. I am the Director of Māori Performing Arts Academy at Rotorua Boys High School and also the Cultural Performance Manager at Tāmaki Māori Village.
Tēnā koe, ko Kimiora Webster tōku ingoa, koe te tumuaki o te kura o te whānau o Āpanu.
Some of the things that I want to raise with the older bro is just to reconnect, and just share thoughts and experiences that we have had with mum and dad. Because I think those are quite awesome aspects that we should continue to talk about, not just letting them to be one-off things, because some of the things that he would share with me today, I'm hoping to pass down to my children as well.
Today I'm going to be talking to my teina, Jamus Webster. One of the things about this discussion is reflecting on mum and dad and keeping the stories alive about them. One thing that we don't do is we don't talk about our people to keep them alive through stories and through narratives for our kids and for the next generation. So this video isn't just about keeping kids safe, Aotearoa safe, but it's also keeping our mother and father's legacy alive through the kōreros and sharing it with everyone around the world.
Okay, so here we are, have this bit of a whakawhiti kōrero.
Ai.
Yeah.
How'd te kaupapa?
Well, how about we start with our upbringing, and how our parents raised us. And so what are your thoughts there, big brother?
Well, they done a good job.
Well, yes.
Both of them done a good job. It was awesome upbringing. But I think it was all about the safety net of us being brought up on the marae. In our te ao Māori, which was the main thing. And at that time, Dad had a lot of thinking around making sure we didn't go down the normal pathway of any other person or playing sports and playing especially rugby, and made us want to read music, be musicians, and also kōrero te reo Māori, and that's always been our safety net.
But we wanted to play rugby though, yeah?
Oh, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. Only when we wanted revenge on other people, but no, kei te pai. Yeah. What about for you?
Yeah, no, I think it's the, keep ensuring that the whānau stay tight. I like that one. And the thing that always sticks out for me is every event that we went to or that we had, whether it's through, kapahaka or, went to all these different events at the marae, Dad will always encourage us to go and attend, But the one thing that always sticks out for me is that always to show face and to show support to other people, because then it'll be reciprocated. That if we're in times of need or we need a bit of help, then we'll get that support from others as well.
Yeah, some of those events that we used to go to was around the hahi, and it wasn't just one hahi. We learnt all about a whole lot of hahi, We were baptised as morehu for the te hahi rātana, but then brought up in te hahi ringatu, and then mum being te hahi mihingare, we learnt about that as well. Nan being te hahi katorika, so we were lucky to learn a whole lot of different karakia and different ways of different events and stuff, but it always brought us back to te ao Māori, because it was always in te reo Māori.
So do you think being quite diverse in those forums or those areas, that it provide us with that spiritual safety?
Yep, we had that spiritual safety, but then we also had Dad's physical presence as well, to have that physical safety for us. And Mum, well, if Mum got involved, then we knew stuff was going to go down, but always had that physical safety with both of our parents, so it was really cool.
Yep, and I think too, a couple of things that stick out for me, and you brought up it just a little bit earlier, as regards to the cultural safety, to ensure that we understand who we are, our identity, tō tāua nei tua, kiritanga and all of that, and I think that's, because it's a unique culture, it differentiates us to anyone else, and to be proud of who we are. And and just when we're looking at it now, like in hindsight, that there was a great movie.
Yeah, well, that's been something that's crafted our careers as kaiako, but also passing on to the next generation all of their teachings.
And I think that's the common, especially for Māori families, is rugby was a thing, you know. And now that I look at it, it's like, lucky we didn't go into that path, or maybe, you know, our pathways would have been different if we did hit the sports sort of arena. But oh well, instead of rugby, then we had to go and play the piano.
Those are all good times though, but that was all part of being safe and keeping us safe, keeping us away from any bad things that may be happening out there. So
Well, when I sum up that sort of this conversation, we've got it all covered, all the sort of angles, you know. So like physically safe, you know, without preventing ourselves when our bodies are still trying to develop, you know, and then normally being Māori males that will go straight into rugby, you know, then we break bones, dislocate this and that. So that's our physical safety was in check.
Yep.
And then our spiritual safety, check.
Well, what was one of the things that happened when you were younger, where mum and dad were there to support you? Injury or something?
Do you remember when I got concussed?
Was that when I... Oh, no, that wasn't when I... No,
there was another time. That's when I landed, I fell off the back of one of the boys and then hit my head. And then, you know, but I always remember the time when you're sitting in hospital, you know, dizzy, dazed and wanting to vomit. But mum and dad were there holding hands, and they just like holding my hands and saying, hey, you got to stay awake. And there was the instructions from or the advice from the doctors at that time, because, you know, because it's playing around with the brain, they just didn't know if there was any blood clots or anything like that. But the advice that I always remember Dad saying is that, boy, if you go to sleep, you may not wake up. And I think with that reverse psychology, it says like this.
Yeah, I think that was something that Mum and Dad brought us up with, was the reverse psychology, to give us that push and that resilience to push through anything that was bad.
Yeah, because you're like Dad out, stubborn, don't like being told what to do, so you can do the opposite.
Same colour.
Maybe your name should have been Adam.
Amos.
Well, what about your one?
Oh, my one, I remember when I got attacked by a dog, but the dog just had puppies, so it was keeping its own whānau safe as well, when you look at it like that. Attacked me, then I ended up in hospital, and then Mum and Dad were of course there to support me through that time, and then I ended up being out of school for 5 days with legs wrapped up in bandages and stuff. But yeah, Dad had his own way of trying to protect us from the dog and stuff like that after the fact.
You know, there was an awesome conversation, you know, and discussion with the bro. Reassures me that we were on the right track, you know, as in being raised in our identity and with Te Ao Māori, and how powerful it is, you know, and he just reaffirmed it.
Yeah, that kōrero was pretty interesting because, you know, I forgot about Jamus's concussion, and I remember as soon as he started talking about it, I remembered every detail about it. Him vomiting all over the place, him going to the hospital, Mum and Dad being away from the house while we were with Nan and Koro while he was up in hospital, wondering what was going to happen. And then it made me reflect about my own injuries of being attacked by the dog and the trauma of me of getting over and getting used to dogs again. So it was an interesting time to reflect on childhood days, because now, you know, we're so busy in our lives, we don't get time to stop and to reflect about how our upbringing actually was.